Hello, Epic here. In this segment, I want to explore one of the common questions I get asked is how much silver is enough? And while there is no clear answer, I'll do my best to answer it. Well, in order to answer this question, we first need to recognize why we stack silver, right? You see, we stack silver not because it's a shiny metal or it'll make us rich overnight, but because it provides a hedge against uncertainty, right? Out of control world that we live in, that we are experiencing right now, actually, right? To name the few, we have geopolitical issue. There's a war going on, currency losing its value, inflation, and even a potential to shift from US dollar as a global reserve to something else. So silver is essentially a personal reserve that can counteract all the direct and even uh, indirect events or things that's impacting us, right? Uh, Silver is a lifeline that can give us that peace of mind, knowing that no matter what happens, we can make it through it, right? So, so now the question, right? How much silver is enough? Well, answer to that question really depends on from person to person. What I mean by that is that let's suppose person A has a network of let's say $10,000, right? So this person A might be lucky enough to prioritize and even allocates uh, some of that network into silver or precious metal. He may be lucky to get few ounces, knowing that there's only 10,000 in the network, right? But on the other hand, if the person B has a network, let's suppose has a network of 1 million or more, then they can easily pick up 1,000 ounce or more without affecting their lifestyle. Okay, so the short answer is that amount of silver really depends. Amount of silver to stack really depends on person to person, right? It really depends on their network, depends on their income, depends on their expenses, and how much of their wealth can they allocate towards silver. So anyway, so regardless of person A or person B, well, right, what's clear is stacking, right? So it doesn't matter if you can stack few ounce a month or 1,000 ounce a month. The point is that income and expense will widely depend on one person's lifestyle. So really, the point of all this is that precious metal, gold and silver, should be part of the equation, right? Small quantities or large quantity, both are equally relevant. Now, perhaps the most important part of the equation is not necessarily how much silver to stack, but is the consistency, right? What I mean by that is have a consistent plan to stack silver, right? Uh, you'll be surprised how much silver you'll accumulate, even if you're just buying 1 ounce a week or 1 ounce a month. Gradually, it all does add up, right? So now, someone would probably, you know, argue that, well, I can't really afford to buy silver or precious metal. I have other priorities in life that requires it. Hey, by all means, if there's other priorities out there, you want to address those, rather they're health or family or debt or whatever those scenarios are. you want to get your house in order, get rid of that, you know. And when we get into a situation where all the house is in order, and then there is a bit of flexibility and in converting some of that savings into a precious metal, then that's really the right thing to do, right? Because it provides us the hedge against all the thing that's happening around the world. Okay. So again, the key is the consistency, right? So once a month, once a week, once I don't know, whatever you can, you wanna stack a little bit of precious metal here and there. Okay. Now, you know, if you really think about it, let's suppose you get your first paycheck or you're getting paid. Let's say you got $1,000 paycheck, and what's interesting is that most people don't even realize that you know the check they got for $1,000 as an income, right? They already paid probably uh, quarter of that in taxes, in Social Security, in Medicaid, Medicare, all those deduction that comes out of check, right? So the income when you receive it is not necessarily what you get. You know, you probably get more than so 1,000 is the net. Then your gross income might be I don't know 1,300 or 1,400, depending on your scenario. So if you add all that up, at the end of the day, you're pretty much paying 20 to 30% of your income, uh, and you have no choice, right? I mean, you're paying that in form of a tax, and you have no choice. And so the question is, if and you're okay with it, obviously, because otherwise you wouldn't be in that scenario. Now, if you're paying, this much 20 to 30% of your income in tax, and not only that, you're probably paying, when you spend money, you're paying sell tax, uh, and when you save money, obviously you're losing money. You're paying tax essentially in form of inflation. You're losing money, so no matter how you look at it, whether you're making money or you're saving money, or at the end of the day, your cut is getting your check, or your income is getting cut somewhere, right? So if you're okay with paying 20 to 30% of your hard-earned energy in form of tax, then why wouldn't you tax yourself and put aside some of your income, right, your wealth, your hard-earned energy, into a reserve, your personal reserve, that you can use to counter the all the things that's happening, right, from inflation to war to even use your personal reserve as a way of uh, supplementing your income when you retire. Okay. So the question of how much silver is enough, well, it depends on your lifestyle, right? So if your lifestyle is spending, 2,000 a month or 10,000 a month, then you want to have enough silver on hand that can get you through the tough time, right? Uh, and especially, let's say you're stacking silver or gold, and then you're at the age where you're retiring, and you're probably getting social security check and whatnot, right? And you can use silver to supplement the income in your retirement to offset your lifestyle. So the question of how much silver is enough will depends on, well, what kind of lifestyle you have, right? Is your lifestyle, can you go away, can you make do with 2,000 a month, or do you need 20,000 a month? So depending on what your lifestyle is, that's the indicator you want to use to figure out how much silver is enough, right? So for instance, right now the silver price is around what, 17, almost 18 per ounce, right? So if the if our expense is $2,000 a month, then if I divide that 2,000 by $18, well, it's gonna be roughly about 110, 111 ounces of silver, right? So if you have a $2,000 expense, then 110 ounce of silver will just get you by 1 month, right? So if you really want to hedge yourself, and let's say I want to stack enough silver to get me through 1 year or 2 year, well then all of a sudden that $110 or 110 ounce is no longer enough, right? You almost need almost 1100 ounces or even more, right? So I'm gonna leave it at that. How much silver is enough is really gonna depend on your personal lifestyle, your income, your network. But regardless of that, I would say that the point of stacking is really the consistency, right? Just stack dollar cost average and stack often as possible. So anyway, that's it for this segment. Stay tuned. We'll do another segment on some other uh, important questions around what is money, or why stack silver, or silver premium, or how to avoid premiums, benefits of stacking. All those questions are relevant, and we'll try to answer all those in coming segments. So thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. Thanks.